I was so busy over the weekend I didn't even see her proposal. I think she's appointed herself, I think, saviour of the Western civilization. It's a desperate search for relevance.
I mean, at the end of the day, she is fighting for them and their interests, but even him is shocked. It's like, this woman, like, chill. Like, we get it, you are a coon. But this level of coonery, I'm finding it hard to grasp. So there are white British people like this.
I will serve crack before I serve my country, and I subscribe to that notion.
What does that mean?
Without incriminating myself, because I have never done anything of this sort, there is nothing that would make me sign up for Britain's military. A quick glance through Britain's imperial and colonial history will tell you that we're a country that is built on the slavery, genocide, ethnic cleansing, colonisation of millions, if not billions of people worldwide. And I am completely in opposition to anything that sustains the legacy of that. And I don't agree with British imperialism and would never, ever, ever sign up to be a part of it.
And then there are African people like Kemi Badenoch.
This is the past. We need to talk about the future. There are many countries now who want to use guilt to try and exploit the UK. They ask for reparations. I saw it as a trade minister. It's not culture wars. I was at the WTO. I won't name the minister from another country. And he was telling me that we needed to give up some of the things that we were doing because of colonialism and because they needed time to develop. These arguments are a scam. Don't fall for it. We need to make sure that we put this country first. We work well with our neighbours. We work well with other countries. But we have to look after ourselves too.
Well, I mean, those advocating for reparations would say, shouldn't we just make up for some of the damage we did through slavery? As a black woman saying that, they may find that hard to understand from you.
Well, there are many things that the British Empire got wrong, but there are many amazing things that the British Empire also did. And we need to be honest about that and stop pretending that it was all bad. The British Empire ended slavery, the Atlantic slave trade. We need to talk about that more. This is the past.
Yeah, so over there in the US of A, they have Candace Owens, and the British have Kemi Badenoch. Yeah. Yes, let us give the British a pat on the back for stopping something that they started. Yeah. That's one argument that I have seen a good number of coons in my short time here on Earth make. And it's an argument that would never make sense. She recently has been gaining popularity for some of her takes. She takes every opportunity she gets to drag Nigeria, and she's an immigrant who is not a fan of immigration. I don't get it.
We are not looking at the real thing. Who is coming into our country? Why do they want to be here? I remember coming back to the UK age 16 and thinking this is an amazing place, that why would anyone not want to be here? I know the pull that the UK has, but we have to make sure that everybody who is here buys into what the UK is about, and they're not trying to turn it into wherever it is they came from.
Agreed.
I don't want this country to turn into Nigeria or India or wherever. I want it to be the place that we all love.
Kemi Badenoch is only British because her mother came here while pregnant. That same rule doesn't exist today, and now she is the one that wants to make immigration harder. If her mother came here under the rules that she's supporting, would Kemi even be here herself? This isn't about protecting Britain. This is about climbing the ladder and pulling it up behind her. She's not fixing immigration. She's just making sure nobody else gets the chances in life that she did.
Of course, not all cultures are equally valid. I don't believe in cultural relativism.
If you're just meeting Kemi Badenoch for the first time, little history on Kemi. She's a black British woman from Nigeria. The embarrassment. Nigerians don't claim this woman. She's a British politician, and she has served as the leader of the Conservative Party since November 2024.
The leader of the United Kingdom's Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch, topped the list of trends over the weekend in the wake of her interview with The Spectator, where she stated that she identifies more with the Yoruba ethnic group than the people from northern Nigeria. Her comments sparked a wave of criticism. Let me take that statement really quickly. Kemi Badenoch was quoted as saying, "I find it interesting that everybody defines me as being Nigerian. I identify less with the country than with the specific identity that is Yoruba. That's what I really am. I have nothing in common with the people from the north of the country, the Boko Haram, where the Islamism is. Those were our ethnic enemies. And yet you end up being lumped in with those people." Kemi Badenoch.
This comment is so heavy. I don't think I have the energy to get into it. First of all, the tribalism. I just can't. I cannot stand tribalistic people. Secondly, it's so heavily coded I'm different. This desire to not want to be part of us, which quite frankly, I'm not even mad at, because I don't want someone to look at me and think I'm like Kemi, because hell no. What level of pick me is this? She wants to be a token so bad.
I grew up in Nigeria, and that is one of the things that fundamentally shaped my view of the world. I was born in Wimbledon, but till 16, that's where I pretty much lived with bits and bobs in the US. And one of the things that worries me is that we take this country for granted. Other countries which aren't doing well, it's not because the people there are stupid. It's bad ideas, bad culture, bad policies. And that is what destroys countries. And we are very lucky here. The things that happened, the path that we took in the UK, in a lot of Western Europe, in the US, is something that is rare. Most countries have gone wrong by doing other stuff. And so my conservative beliefs come from those fundamental principles.
Hearing African people, people of African descent, black people talk about how they are conservatives and their conservatives' beliefs or ideals will never not stop being insane to me, because what exactly are you conserving, and in whose interest, whose benefit is it going to be this thing that you are conserving? These conservative beliefs of yours, even, where did they come from? Are these questions that they ever sit down and ask themselves? Here she is talking about the path that they took in Europe and in the US, and how it was rare and a good thing that they took this path, and how now they should be lucky, or we should be lucky, or rather our people over there and the collective of the rest of them white folks, right, should be lucky as well because of this path that they took. But this path that they took and the things that they did, though, we had to suffer for it. Indigenous people globally had to suffer for it. Hell, as a matter of fact, we are still suffering because of the path that they are taking right now. But does Kemi care? No. Hell, I believe if we let Kemi tell it, they are not doing anything to us at the moment. Kemi, you want to talk about bad culture? Let's talk about the culture of exploitation that the West is still perpetuating. Let's talk about the culture of neo-colonialism, Kemi. Can a human being be any more obtuse than this? The rare path that they took? She's seriously glorifying the rare path that they took. What exactly was the rare thing these people did for real? Because I would hate to actually let my brain think what my brain is thinking about right now. And I'm just at this point going to let you guys tell me down below in the comment section what this woman could possibly be talking about, because like what my brain is saying that she's possibly talking about, like I cannot accept. And again, it's just the contrast between this woman and how she speaks versus how the white guy at the beginning of this video speaks about this same country. It's very interesting, isn't it? She don't like the way our continent is looking. She don't like the way things are run in Nigeria, right? What it looks like down here. And to be fair, on that note, I agree with her. Right. And yes, I'm one who also like to talk about accountability and how we as a people are falling short. And I know that there are certain things that we do need to be doing, our government needs to be doing to make things better for us that we are not doing. Yes, there is that aspect, and I cannot in good faith not say that or make excuses for our shortcoming, of course. So on that note, I agree with Kemi, right? But we cannot also ignore how we got here and how we are the way it is still being maintained, because then people who she is on their side, because she likes to we she ropes herself with them. Anytime Kemi is speaking is we, right? Because in her mind, you know, she's one of them. She has interwoven herself somehow with them, even though they would never really fully accept her, which we are getting to that, by the way, because she was, one of them called her out during one of them governmental, I believe it was in the parliament. Yeah, he really told her off. He embarrassed her and even called her out for her you know, being too extra, because in their heads you are doing too much. You are wanting to even be more British than the British. He so humbled her. It was so good to watch. Let's let the clip roll.
Over the weekend, I suggested to the Prime Minister that he cut the aid budget, and I'm pleased that he accepted my advice.
I'm going to have to let the Leader of the Opposition down gently. She didn't feature in my thinking at all. I was so busy over the weekend I didn't even see her proposal. I think she's appointed herself, I think, saviour of the Western civilization. It's a desperate search for relevance.
It's a desperate search for relevance. These people are like, EA, calm down. He can't believe the way this woman is going bing, 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 bing for them. I mean, at the end of the day, she is fighting for them and their interests, but even him is shocked. It's like, this woman, like, chill. Like, we get it, you are a coon. But this level of coonery, I'm finding it hard to grasp. Nigerians in the comments are like, we Nigerians stand with Kemi opponent in these hard times. I'm embarrassed on her behalf. Auntie Kemi, you will never be one of them. Somebody needs to tell her. The white people she's trying so hard to impress don't even want her. For real, for real. As a fellow Nigerian, I say this wholeheartedly. Kemi is a disgrace. Absolutely. She's appointed herself as savior of Western civilization. The subtle reminder to her to remember where she is from. For real, for real. But would she get it? No, because she's drunk on the Kool-Aid, right? The coonery Kool-Aid. Something is fundamentally wrong with Kemi Badenoch. Anyone knows anything about her childhood or upbringing, she's actually on a journey towards destruction, but she keeps living in a world of illusion. I would say delusion, right? Unfortunately, when the time is ripe, they will dump her after fully utilizing any values left in her. Geez, Kemi, you have just been humiliated and reminded that you should know your place. Even comedy shows don't have such laughs. That's the problem. You can't blend where you are not rooted. Rejected both home and abroad. What a shame.
That's how we were sitting down yesterday here when they gave Kemi Badenoch.
Did you pick the pawn? Did you pick the pawn? You did, right? That was good.
I can't even lie. We hear the sound. Come!
Yeah. Ah!
You see? That's her name. Kemi Badenoch. Yeah, but we hear the knock now. Abi?
And I suggested to the Prime Minister that he cut the aid budget, and I'm pleased that he accepted my advice.
I'm going to have to let the Leader of the Opposition down gently. She didn't feature in my thinking at all. I was so busy over the weekend I didn't even see her proposal. I think she's appointed herself, I think, saviour of the Western civilization. It's a desperate search for relevance.
Wait, hold it right there. Ordinarily, I would have just said, looking at Parliament and how, they used to throw jabs at each other, I would just say it's a normal jab. But this one, it be like a jabolani. I don't know if I'm shouting. Bro! A desperate search. You might be watching and be saying, what are they talking about? See, before now, Auntie Kemi Badenoch has seized every opportunity to talk bad about Nigeria. Every opportunity she gets. And if you look at it very well, Nigerians are not asking for too much. I've never really heard Nigerians come to meet you to say, give us good life in the UK, No, we are not asking for too much. Why you come press their neck like say, you get one thing where you want make them vomit? It's needless, to be very honest. It's good that you want to cite where you are coming from, your background. That's how it started, and I was like, all these TEDx speakers. But the way you come the carry and go, I'm like, hey, I beg, get one thing we do where we need to apologize to you for. We are not saying Nigeria get us a bill, of course. But the truth is that Don't always seize every opportunity to paint the country in a negative light. I don't know if una get light. Okay, light there you go. I know that you probably don't need Nigeria for anything again. Because it won't be nice, say you land Nigeria, immigration, they wait you with Badenoch. Hey! You didn't get that, ma. Nigerian police fall down, they wait for you for bus stop like this. Say, madam. Then say you, they find us. Wait till we do you again. MA Park for this side. He says a desperate search for relevance. Bam. He could have let this slide, but he put that for there. Bro! See, for those of you watching, take this as your word of affirmation for today. Are you ready, sir? May our opposition not put us in the position that we affect our disposition and our emotion in a foreign nation. After I don't pour spit for the eyes of my nation, Jesus, I don't know if I'm standing attention.
And the people say what? But back to the initial point I was trying to make. These people, their hands, they are our matter. Their hand have been in our matter for over 400 years now. So to ignore that fact, I think is very disingenuous. There have to be some level of cognitive dissonance at play, or who knows, she just might be playing the game to get the bag, because we know people who swing, that way. It's very easy for them to get the bag. Not the best bag in comparison to their white counterparts, but it's still nice, I guess.
I actually know nothing about that woman. I wish her all the best.
She's got a good attitude, a strong attitude.
The last thing this country needs is a culture warrior. Someone who wants to promote division.
Now, I don't think that Kemi is going to sit and be a hard right leader at all. I think she's actually going to be a centre-right leader, which is where the Conservative Party naturally sits.
She's only got to do three things. She's got to stand up for the British people, stand up for British culture, and stand up for the most vulnerable in society. If she does that, she wins back British people.
Regardless, it would always be for me the fact that no matter what you do, they are never going to like you fully. They are never really going to claim you. They are never going to accept you. You are always going to just be that pawn that they use to continue to get the things that they want. And eventually, when they are done with you, they are going to spit you out.
People, when we tell you that some black faces in high places are the perfect tools of white supremacy, I give you Kemi Badenoch, aka Not Bad Enough, the first black British Conservative Party leader, the racial gatekeeping extraordinaire, whose unique selling point is to throw black people and her country of origin, Nigeria, under the bus at every given opportunity in order to prop herself up to white British people as, I'm really one of you. It's an accident of birth that I came out black, but I'm really white on the inside. Here she is in the House of Commons, Parliament no less, complaining about a Palestinian family of 6 who've been given refuge in the United Kingdom under a scheme created for Ukrainians. White people. Listen in.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative government established the Ukraine Family Scheme, and in total, over 200,000 Ukrainians, mostly women, children and the elderly, have found sanctuary in the UK from Putin's war.
Okay, good.
However, a family of 6 from Gaza have applied to live in Britain using this scheme.
Good.
And a judge has now ruled in their favour.
Excellent.
This is not what the scheme was designed to do.
Did you hear that?
This decision is completely wrong. It cannot be allowed to stand.
Unacceptable.
Is the government planning to appeal on any points of law? And if so, which ones?
Kemi Badenoch is basically saying that we, the British people, can give refuge to over 200,000 Ukrainians to come here, but we cannot give refuge to a family of 6 Palestinians from Gaza. Why? Because Ukrainians are white. So we can give Ukrainians right to work, right to live, access to the health service, access to benefits, but we can't give Palestinians the same rights and benefits. Why? Because Ukrainians are white. Kemi said, this cannot stand. This is wrong. This is not what the scheme was created for. And out of this mouthpiece of white supremacy, you hear the truth. That the system is not broken. It is working exactly as it should, which is to discriminate, to exclude, to be institutionally, structurally, and systemically racist. And Kemi Badenoch knows that Britain is responsible for arming, aiding, abetting, supporting Israel's genocide of Palestinians, Israel's commission of crimes against humanity of Palestinians in both West Bank and Gaza, and that we are partly responsible for Israel's devastation of Gaza. So we actually owe Palestinians refuge. We owe them that. But that can't happen because Palestinians are not white. And Israel, Zionist Israel, is Britain's ally. And we all know that Zionism is white supremacy.
It's a similar thing with the Boko Haram statement she made earlier on that we saw in this video. She has a problem with Boko Haram, rightfully so, as she should. We all have a problem with Boko Haram because they are a terrorist organization that's terrorizing Nigerians. But who is funding Boko Haram? Is the exact same people that she has been praising, right? The exact same US government that she was speaking about earlier on in the video, talking about some
the things that happened, the path that we took in the UK, in a lot of Western Europe, in the US, is something that is rare.
Then people can do no wrong in Kemi's eyes. She wants to focus only on the effects, but don't want to talk about the cause and who is the cause.
No outrage when Ukrainians leave their war-torn country to come and benefit from a system here they've not worked for, but there's outrage when black and brown people leave their war-torn countries to come here seeking refuge. White supremacy exemplified.